In 1822, on the coast of West Africa, freed African American slaves stepped onto a land that would become their new home. They came to build a colony where formerly enslaved people could start over. That colony became Liberia, and in 1847, it declared independence as the first African republic led by black people. The settlers brought American names, culture, and political ideas. The capital, Monrovia, for example, was named after U.S. President James Monroe. But tensions quickly grew between the Americo-Liberians and the indigenous tribes, two different worlds trying to share one land. That divide would fuel inequality, resentment, and eventually civil war. The dream was powerful, but Liberia's path has been anything but easy. Yet, out of the struggle, a symbol of hope emerged, a true legend named after one of America's founding fathers.
Hey, what's up everyone, it's your boy Ali, Plotapassion, welcome back. Today we're diving into the extraordinary life of one of the greatest players in African football. From barefoot streets in Monrovia to the grand stage of Europe, and eventually the presidency of the country, this is one of the greatest underdog stories in football and politics. Sounds interesting? Get yourself some coffee, a snack, and let me see you after the intro. Let's go.
George Weah was born on October the 1st, 1966, in Claratown, a slum in Monrovia. Raised by his grandmother, the conditions were tough. They could be going days without electricity or running water. But George had one thing in mind: succeed in football. Funny thing, he started his football journey as a goalkeeper in one of the neighborhood clubs called Young Brazil. But his coach saw that he was fast, skillful, and could score goals and not stop them. George quickly switched to playing as a striker and joined Bong Range United, one of the local teams. Then joined the bigger club called Mighty Barrow, where in 1985 season he scored 24 goals in just 23 games, and he led the team to win the Premier League at that time, in Liberia of course. The next year, he was transferred to Invincible 11, the most popular club at that time in Liberia. He was literally the best player, and people started noticing him. And during all this, imagine, he was working full-time as a switchboard technician for Liberia's Post and Telecommunication. So imagine that. Daytime, he used to connect phone calls. Nighttime, he used to score goals. Amazing. In 1987, his talent crossed borders. A scout from Cameroon spotted him during a game and offered him a chance to play for the biggest club at that time in Cameroon, Tonnerre Calara Club de Yaoundé. It was huge. Tonnerre was one of the best clubs in the country and in Africa at that time. With better facilities, tougher opponents, and a bigger stage, George Weah had to learn a lot, and he didn't disappoint. In just 14 games, he scored 14 goals. He wasn't just playing, he was just telling the world, I'm here and I'm coming for you guys. In 1988, legendary French coach Arsène Wenger signed him for AS Monaco. At Monaco, George refined his technique, learned more about tactics, and sharpened his instincts. Then came Paris Saint-Germain, where he won Ligue 1 in 1994 and became the best player of that league. Then he played for AC Milan, where he won Serie A twice and scored one of the football's greatest goals ever, running from his own box to score against Verona. An amazing goal. Weah's career took him across Europe: Chelsea, Manchester City, at that time, Marseille, and finally Al Jazeera club in the UAE. But now, let me tell you more about his trophies. He won 3 CAF African Player of the Year. He won FIFA World Player of the Year in 1995. And he won Ballon d'Or in 1995. To this day, he remains the only African player to win all 3, and the only one to win the Ballon d'Or. Through it all, he never forgot his country, Liberia. He funded the national team's travel, bought jerseys, paid salaries, sometimes even the food, all that from his own pocket. He wasn't just the star player, he was the president in the making. During Liberia's brutal civil war, Weah used his fame for peace. He worked with UNICEF, spoke against violence, and gave scholarships to war-affected kids. He visited refugee camps, donated money for schools, and helped child soldiers find new lives. If Superman wore football boots and carried a Liberian passport, it would be George Weah. But let me tell you how amazing this guy is. In 2005, Weah ran for president and lost. Many critics laughed at him, saying he was just a footballer, that he couldn't make it. But George didn't stop there. He went back to school, earned a degree, and entered politics for real. In 2014, he became a senator. In 2017, he ran again for president. And this time, he won with 61% of the votes. From the dusty pitches of Claratown to the highest office in Liberia, his journey wasn't just rare, it was historic. And let me tell you something else. One of his first actions, he cut his own presidential salary by 25% to help the economy. Just name another president who starts by taking a pay cut. I'll wait. George Weah's story proves that talent, heart, and perseverance can take you places no one thinks you belong. This is a real lesson. From a poor kid in Monrovia to world football stage to the president of Liberia, he became the biggest symbol of hope for anyone, not only Liberian people. Any African, whether he's from the north, the south, the west, the east, can actually see himself in George Weah. That's why I love this guy. And I hope you liked his story. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. It could help a lot. This is Ali from Plotapassion. Thank you for watching, guys. See you next time. Salam alaikum.